everyone, welcome to Nicole's Needlework. Today is January 28th. It is a Wednesday and it's right around 30 a.m. I've got Ginger here. I don't know how long she'll stay. We have, so I'm back in my bedroom and we have a little bird feeder outside the window. So the cats have been very interested in seeing the birds on that bird feeder. So let's see, it's been almost a couple weeks since my last video. Still nothing on the walls, still trying to decide. It's so hard when you move into a new house, where to put things. It's almost like you hate to put nails in the walls, you know, because they're nice and clean. I don't know, it's weird. I'm sure it's my own issues. And she sees Oreo with her. I don't have a lot of projects. I've been really monogamous this January. So I finished Hannah Jenkinson, and then I got out Margaret White, 1841, and finished this. I've got a little board here. Actually, it's kind of a big board. But this is on 40 count vintage pecan butter with DMC threads. And it's 1/2. Ginger's playing with Oreo under the bed. So this is by Sassafras Samplers. And you can only get those through Sassy Jack's Stitchery. And this is a PDF download. So very cute, fun finish. And then I decided to get out Pink Sparrow Sampler by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I posted this on Instagram yesterday, and I think when I'm working on it at night, the colors look almost garish and neon because I'm using my hot light, but in the daytime, they're definitely softer. Very pretty. Yeah, a little funky. Not normally what I normally do. I don't really like orange or purple, but it works in this sampler. And it's really pretty. And this is also on 40 count vintage pecan butter. So definitely one of my favorite linens. So I'm hoping to get that finished this week. And there goes my scissors. And that's the chart. And this is a little bit hard to find, but I'm pretty sure Kitten Stitcher has it. And if you do a search, you might be able to find it other shops. Once Brenda Gervais opens her shop, you should definitely be able to get it on there. And I'm just using all the called for threads. So that's mainly Gentle Arts, and there's a couple Weeks Dye Works in there. And that's really it. So, and I took Hannah Jenkinson and Ann Rayner to be framed, along with the two others that I had to get reframed. So she said by February they should be ready. So so other than that, I've been kind of just getting organized. I've shown this before, but I use Google Sheets on my iPad. It's just right there, whoops, to organize all my threads and my linen. So I'll just show an example. Let me see, I'll do Weeks Dye Works. So I have, sorry for the glare, I have color, and then I have like the DMC equivalent in parentheses if there is one. And then I have quantity, and then chart 1, chart 2. So I know where all my thread is if I have it with a chart. So let's say I need that thread, and I can always, whoops, I can always put it back, but I know where all my thread is at the time. And it took, you know, it does take some time to get it all organized, but once it's in there, it's so nice, because then you don't have to do much to keep up with it. So then for my linens weren't organized at all. They were just thrown into the bins by company. That was as much as it was organized. So I decided to go a step further and give each of my linens, well, bigger piece linens. Smaller pieces, like under 6 inches, I didn't do that. So I gave each of my linens an inventory number. Yep, super, super nerdy. But it was nice to get it all organized. So I gave each of my linens an inventory number. And then if I have it kitted, I put which sampler it's with. And then I put width in one column and height in one column, so then I can do a filter. Say I want a 15 by 18 piece of linen. I can do a filter and then do equal or greater to 15, and then equal or greater to whatever in the height. And then if I only want 40 count, I can filter all the 40 counts. So it makes it nice, and I don't have to search and search. And then with the inventory number, I can go right to that piece of linen. So like I said, it took a couple days to get it all organized, but now it's so nice. I was looking for a piece of linen for Red House sampler. So I was able to narrow it down to about, 10 pieces of linen. And then I just pulled those pieces and put the threads on them, and found a good piece of linen for it. So it definitely helps. Oh, another program I use for my charts is it called Evernote. I've tried other note-taking programs, but this one, of course, it's not on this iPad. So the program I use is called Evernote, and it's the one with the little elephant there. And you can create different notebooks. So I have cross stitch, just patterns finished, whips, and so on. So in my cross stitch, I have pictures of all my patterns, and then I have tags. So this allows you to search by pattern name, by designer, and if I wanna, so different tags I've added, it's like Quaker sampler, reproduction sampler, Red House sampler, just so I can search all the different patterns for what I'm looking for. So I really love for that. And then I can add other pictures to it, like works in progress pictures, and that sort of thing. And then once I've finished, I'll move it on over to a finished folder. So I really, really like Evernote, and I've been using it for several years. I have thought about upgrading to the Pro version, but I really haven't had a need for that yet. They only let you use it on 2 devices. So like an iPad and an iPhone, or a computer and a iPad, only 2 devices. You have to sign out of the other device, which, I mean, it takes like 30 seconds. It's not a huge deal. So anyway, love Evernote. So Evernote, Google Sheets, those are my 2 main apps I use for organizing. And then recently I've come across GoodNotes. So GoodNotes, I actually have my electronic or digital planner. So I'm using Jen's from Quirks and Stitches. I'm using her digital planner, and that's the front page. And my handwriting is horrible on the iPad, so I just used like a handwriting font, so I cheated. But for each page, it's kind of like my book of days planner. I just put what I worked on that day. And then, you know, if I did a video or whatever, but I really like Jen's. You can go to the year, and then you have 2021 whips, new starts. And then up here, there's more things like whips, inventory. I think she goes over it a little more in her video. So you can just put your, so there's a whip list. That's not all my whips. I just started putting them in. And then if you tap on the corresponding number, it'll take you to that whip page. So there's my pink Sparrow. And then you put all the information. So that's kind of fun. I've been enjoying that. There's an inventory section, but I probably won't use that because I've been doing, you know, the Google Sheets and everything. And then there's a miscellaneous section, and I was thinking of doing WhipGo. So I made a little WhipGo page. If it'll go to it, it's not going to it for some reason. So I put projects for WhipGo. I'm not sure, I'm still thinking about it. And then you can add different pages into your planner. So it's kind of neat. And then there's another planner I got on Etsy. And it's more of just an everyday type planner, and I've been playing around with like stickers, and I kind of put the same thing, like the projects I was working on and stuff. And this one, so on my husband's birthday, we went out to dinner. So I put a picture of us and then what I worked on. So it's kind of fun. And then just different things. So you have a daily picture there. So I don't know, I've just been playing around with that. That's a lot of fun. And then for my patterns, I use an app called Goodreader. So GoodNotes, and then there's Goodreader. I like Goodreader for its annotating function. Now, GoodNotes, I haven't really played around with it with the annotating and seeing how it is with patterns. But so far, I really like Goodreader for my patterns. And let me see if I can find, so La-Di-Da just came out with a freebie. And so basically if I want to highlight it, so it's kind of messy, but you can see, you get the idea. If I just want to highlight it, and then you can delete, you can remove them if you want. So I like GoodNotes, and Goodreader, and I use it a lot for knitting patterns. But I'm gonna start using it more for cross stitch patterns. So this is really gonna be my iPad I'm gonna use for my cross stitch patterns. So, so that's how I've been getting organized. And last time I said I would go through these baskets. So this is kits, and then this is whips. Oh, I did. So I went to Stitch and Frame, and they said after I did my video, they had like 50 orders for Lakeside. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And they didn't have a lot. I should have mentioned that. They only had like a couple, maybe fat quarters of each. And they had to tell so many people they were sorry they didn't have any. And I told them they should have called me in to help tell people. So anyway, yeah, the Lakeside, when I went back there, it was wiped out. So good for them. They got some business. Maybe more than they were hoping for, but it was pretty funny. But I did get, whoa. So I did get that fat quarter of bee's knees. I'm still kind of on the fence about it because it's definitely orangey. I'm not a big fan of orangey fabrics. It's so hard to tell. But I think it would be pretty for this pattern, Louisa Coulimore. with a, I put the pen, here it is, with the Gloriana Schoolhouse Red. So I think that might be pretty. And to give you so I put this in my spreadsheet and I gave it a number. It's number 146. And I put the width and height. So it's all ready to go. So that will go in my bin of others. So this is Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit. I gave that a number 93. So I'll put this back where it goes after. And then I have my, so these are just some of my Glorianas. Aren't they pretty? I just love Glorianas. And I have some of them in Flossway bags, the ones that I've used. But these are unused and I just like to look at them. No, get down. Come here. Come here. Get in your bed. Come on, Ginger. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Ginger. Can't see you. What are you doing? You're so silly. Okay. So first thing I have kitted up with that flea market souvenir, and I showed that before, with the 36 count fawn. And then, so this is Red House Sampler, which I just found some linen for. And that's by the Sampler Company. And so I think I'm gonna use a piece of 40 count creme brulee by R&R. Those are the DMC, and then the 2 weeks I have here is Louisiana hot sauce, which is what Carol used. So, pretty colors. And then I have, I'm pretty sure I showed these last time. I'll just show them quickly again. 7 Sheep Sampler by the Scarlet House. With the called for silk threads. And then I have a piece of morning coffee, 36 count morning coffee. Stitch that on. Ginger. Full of it. And then again, I have Susan Wasband, also by Scarlet House. I haven't put these on a ring yet. Actually, I'll be putting them in floss away bags. I got another skein of oatmeal scone because I didn't have a lot left, so I had to make sure. And then I have a piece of vintage pecan butter to go with that. And that's the chart. And then Ann Marston, I'm pretty sure I showed this. I'm showing these all again. But Pineberry Lane with the call for threads. I don't have linen for that yet. So some of these have a small start. So they're not really whips because I haven't really worked on them since I started them. They're basically stashed with a little bit of stitching. So this is Quaker Sampler Ragamuffin No. 2 by Shakespeare's Peddler. And that's all I have started. So I don't really count that as a whip. It's more like a kit with the little stitching. So this is, whoops, just throwing stuff. So this is kitted with the called for Versoix, needlepoint ink, and some Gloriana. And this is vintage light exemplar. There's the chart. It's another one, small start. And this is Antonetta Beauvais by Samplers Remembered. And this is the one that my mom stitched using blackboard, I believe, on straw, which is really pretty. But I was going to stitch mine using, this is what I have done. I've got the border pretty much outlined. And this is Gloriana Cranberry. I'm going to hold that up again. I need those little clips. And this is the Gloriana Cranberry. And this is also on the 40 count creme brulee by R&R. Another very small start is in Grimshaw, 1818 by the Scarlet Letter. And I'm using Gloriana Antique Black because that's what Carol's using. and this linen is by Victorian Motto. I think it's maybe Antique Sampler. I have to look. Maybe Antique Sampler. I have to look. That's what I have so far. That's it. Or parchment. It's one of those. I'll have to look at my Evernote. It's another small start on Maria Finney by Shakespeare's Peddler. Because I just have a little bit of that corner. And this is 46 count straw, the Zweigart base. And here are the threads I'm using. I changed a couple of them, but same tone, I guess. So definitely want to get back to that. And then another small start is Elizabeth Harness, 1836 by Hands Across the Sea. And this I'm stitching on a piece of tea and coffee dyed linen. And that's basically all I've done. And I'm using the called for DMC threads. So pretty. That's why I call these stash with just a little stitching, because there really isn't much, and I really haven't worked on them much at all. And then last one in my kitted category is Mary 395 by Hands Across the Sea. I love this one so much. I really need to get back to it. And this one is on 40 count vintage exemplar. And I just have a little start at the top. And this one I'm using Belsois Cranberry. So the other one was Gloriana Cranberry and this one is Belsois. And it's a little bit darker. These ones I put on this pretty thread keep. So definitely need to get back to that one. All of them. I mean, I love them all so much. So those are my kits or kind of whips. And then these are whips, projects that I have more of a bigger section completed. Okay, so this one I had kind of put away for a while. I really have a lot more finished than I realized. And it is Village of Hawk Run Hollow. It's probably one of my oldest whips. I think I started it in 2011. So 10 years, definitely time to get it done. So this block down here is the last one I was working on. You can tell I have thread hanging off of it. So let's see, 6, 7, 8. It's almost 8 blocks. So really I just have 4.5 to go. Yeah, I just definitely need to just get this done. And this is on sand dune, vintage sand dune, 40 count by Lakeside. And I'm using all the called for needlepoint ink silks. And then, so I have this one, not a whole lot of progress, Harriet Brown Redwork Sampler Pin Keep. It's a long title. There's the back. So that's the front and the back. And this one I'm just doing on 40 count parchment, the old weeks. I'm using General Arts Old Red Paint. Very pretty. This could probably be more in the kid with a little stitching pile, but I need a smaller board. So another one, very good. And I've gone back and forth on this a couple times. I love Brenda's finish. Parts of it are not my favorite, like this, I don't know. Some parts of it I don't really care for, and some I really like. I love the border. The border is probably my favorite thing about it. But that's what I have done so far. And I've said before that this was labeled as vintage lentil. It doesn't really look like the lentil nowadays. It looks to me more like maybe light exemplar or pecan butter or something like that. Who knows if it was actually lentil from an old dye lot. So I do like this. It's just parts of it are not my favorite, but I would like to see it finished. Oh, and then Mary Lindsay, I showed this last time. Sorry for the wrinkles there. And this is by Chessie and Me. This was a stitch along with Country Sampler last year, and now the chart's out for everyone. I got this as a kit from Country Sampler though. I got the 36 count kit. So this is 36 count latte by Fiber on a Whim, but now I believe they have the 40 count available, which is what I probably would have gotten, but it's okay. I'm enjoying this. And I'm using all the called for threads. So pretty. I love this sampler. No, I showed this last time also, Mary Bars. And I've said this probably about 5 times. I really want to focus on this. So after I get Pink Sparrow done and another one I think I'm going to focus on, I want to just get this done. But this is on 40 count Creme Brulee by R&R. It's just a great neutral, this Creme Brulee. Love it. With all the call for Weeks Dye Works. Rose Hips and Ivy by Blackburn Designs. That shouldn't take too long to get finished. I just need to focus on it. And that is from the Sewing Club booklet, which I don't have in here right now. I'm using all the call for weeks. Another one I'd like to kind of focus on. Mary Betchel, 1810 by the Scarlet House. have done, and this was labeled vintage exemplar, but it definitely looks more like vintage sand dune to me. I love that red in there. That is Tulip by Belsois. Here's all the threads. And then there's that tulip. So pretty. Very pretty. So Harriet Elizabeth Co. is, after I finish Pink Sparrow, I'm just gonna work on this until it's done. And then I might go to the Mary Bars. So this one I don't have too much. Looks like I'm about almost halfway done. Maybe not quite. Because I still have to do the flowers in the border over here. So this is 40 count vintage light exemplar with the called for threads. And this chart you can also, like with Pink Sparrow, probably find it on Kent Stitcher, or when Brenda opens up her shop on Country Stitches online. I'm not really showing my holiday whips. I showed those all last time. So this one, Susanna Lynch, 1862 by Lila's Studio. And I'm doing this on a piece of linen I coffee and tea dyed. And that's all I have done. Very pretty sampler. Love the colors. So, okay. So, and then of course this one, Consider the Lilies, which I started right before, it was March 15th I started this. So March 16th is when we started working from home. So that's really when everything kind of shut down for us for COVID-wise. But so it's kind of hard to show the whole thing now. This is on 40 count Dusty Road by Seraphim, using mostly all the called for colors. I've changed a couple here and there. I love this. I'd love to get to the tree and the Adam and Eve. Definitely want to get more done this year. And there's all the thread colors for that. And I believe I have a couple more. Lucy Smoosh All 1847 by Samplers Remembered. So sweet with the heart border. Love that. And I don't have a whole lot done on this. And this is, I believe it's vintage pecan butter. It's just a darker dye lot than the others. I'll have to look in my notes, but I think that's what it is. And I'm just using all the called for threads, except for, whoops. One is a classic Colorworks. I'm using Colonial Rose instead of Faded Rose. I think I just did that because I was using Faded Rose for something else at the time, but it's a good substitution. So that's it. I need to get back to that, of course, all of them. And there might be a few more, but I've shown them before, and there's Miss Manners, which I haven't done any more on, and then the Christmas ones that I showed last time. Let's see if I have Miss Manners in here. If I saw it. Here it is, Miss Manners by GGR. And this one I just kind of pulled silks from my stash. Definitely would like to get back to that too. Add it to the list. I think that's it. So I'm gonna try and get Pink Sparrow finished up, and then hopefully next time I'll have my framing back and I can share that, and maybe I'll have something on the wall. I don't know. It depends. I have my samplers in the living room, and I was thinking I have one wall that's empty. It's kind of like we have a long living room / dining room, and there's a wall right there that I was thinking of doing like a sampler wall. So when I get those 4 back, I'll kind of see what I want to do after that. But again, thanks for sticking around for all this. It was a little disjointed, cats in and out, and lunch break. So I think that's it. Have a great week, couple weeks. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourself. Talk to you later. Bye. I forgot about 2 other whips. So I'm in my living room now because I took everything out of my bedroom. So actually I just got in the mail these really pretty silks from Hobby House. And these are for the Hands Across the Sea little gem, Jessie Watson. So that's just a few of them I needed for that sampler. So sweet. So the other 2 whips I forgot about. So this is more like a kit with some stitching. This is Mary Carter by Hands Across the Sea. And this is on 46 count vintage light exemplar. And I'm using, so here's the pattern. Mary Carter, 1712. And I'm using the 103s by Versois. Here they are there. And then the last one, I forgot about them because they're in this big bag, is Dorothy Walpole. And that's another one. I've been saying this, I feel like, for years, that I just want to get finished. So I'm working on the over one here. And this is on vintage pecan butter. And this one I'm using, they're called for Soie d'Alger by Versois. Hey. so that's definitely it now. I will talk to you guys later.